In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to color your synthetic extensions. We are using a product called alcohol ink. This particular line came from Tim Holtz. It's about 3 to a pack, runs about $10. We are going to mix that down with a standard rubbing alcohol into spray bottles. If you are going to do this in bigger batches and say you were doing an entire piece, you could just mix this up and submerge your ponytail or your wig into a bowl or a vat. But we are gonna do something a little bit more in depth. We're actually going to do more of a cosmic color pattern. So we've mixed up 3 different colors. We have a purple, a red, and a blue that we're gonna do kind of a splotchy color pattern. So let's take a look at that. To pre-mix our colors, I've actually added alcohol up to about here and then about 30 drops of our color. To check your color and make sure it's what you want, we're just gonna use a white piece of paper. You can use a paper towel. This happens to be a Sanex strip because that's what I have laying around the salon. And we're just gonna spray into it, and that's our color, which I really like. So we're just gonna test our other colors. And make sure you're definitely wearing gloves. Think of this stuff as like basically a Sharpie, but in spray form. So whatever it touches, it's definitely going to stain. So I really like how this color combo is turning out. So we're going to use it as is. So for this process, because the universe tends to be a splotchy kind of color combination, what we're going to do is take one layer at a time and color them individually to give it the best possible kind of splotchiness, I guess is what you want to call it. So we're going to pull down our lower layer, making sure that this layer is thick enough so that you're not doing a billion sections, but also thin enough where you can actually work the colors in sections all the way through. And then we're going to take a clip and clip this out of the way. Now we're just going to work on this panel only, and we're going to work on it until it's dry. So for this layer, we're going to start by just lightly spritzing it with water. That's going to help take down some of this flyaway hair. Be careful how much water you use. If you do use a bit of water, it can make it take longer to dry, so that's not your kind of MO here. We're just trying to use it to get those flyaways down. So from here, we're going to start with our first color. This is going to be our red color. And oh, also I should note, for this, we want the base to match, so we're actually going to start our Cosmos colors from about midpoint down. So we're just going to start with our red. Okay, now with this color, if you were to touch, like with your gloves going up, you're going to see those lines. So I'm just going to kind of lightly pat this color in and stay away from sections that I have not touched. It's okay if it's a little bit splotchy, but we don't want it to leave kind of finger marks everywhere. So we're just gonna kind of push that into the section that we're working with. I'm gonna go back through with my comb and just kind of lightly kind of push that in. Okay, for our next color, we're gonna add our purples. You might notice that when I'm spraying, I'm also kind of moving a little bit. That's to help kind of air that color out. If you get too close in your spray, you're gonna see where that creates a little line of demarcation from where that spray was heavier than in other places. If you do comb through multiple colors, just know that your top color is going to spread down. So just be mindful when you do that. Okay, here's our blue. Okay, and we're gonna hold off on pulling down the next layer until this one is dry. We've finished with our first section, and we did use a blow dryer to speed up the drying process. If you use it for your synthetics, just make sure the heat isn't too high or you could risk scorching your synthetics. So we like the color palette, but if it was a little bit too light, we could always go back in and spray a little bit more and then do the whole drying process again. So for now, we're ready to move on. Once your colors are dry, they are considered permanent. So don't worry, if they're dry, then we can go ahead and clip these out of the way and they're not going to smear together. We're going to pull down our next section so we can continue our spraying process. So this completes our cosmic colored ponytail. You can wear it down or as an updo. The possibilities with this are completely endless.